In this video, we take you from land acquisition and actually getting your hands in the dirt, all the way, all the different sequences of building into the final walkthrough and handing over the keys, and show you what it looks like through every step along that journey.
Yeah, and be sure to stick around at the end of this video. We're gonna show you a tour of a home we just closed on.
Actually, you're gonna get several opportunities to go through various houses that we're building currently in the different stages. So we hope this video is fun, informative, and let's get it started.
Well, there's a few months of work that go into building a home before you ever start construction. So let's talk about what that looks like. First, you have your survey work. In this current environment, it takes approximately 4 weeks from the day you order the survey before you get your results. I know that sounds like a lot, but it's really true.
Yeah, so once the boundary survey is complete, you hand that off to a soil engineer and they obtain soil samples or borings. And so if you're doing a well and septic system, there's a couple of different, there's broadly speaking, 2 different types of systems. One is a conventional system and the other is an advanced or engineered system. The primary difference between the two are advanced systems have a secondary treatment unit that removes wastewater and contaminants before discharging into the drain field. Generally speaking, conventional systems are a little cheaper. They don't really require much design. You just kind of fit it to the lot, whereas engineered systems, they take a little more time. There's engineers involved and they are more expensive, generally speaking. And there's like tons more distinctions and categories underneath those two, but for the sake of this video, not worth going into. Simultaneously to all of that, while that's going on, you can be finalizing your building plans. You can be submitting the building plan to your surveyor for inclusion on the site plan, where they draw the actual footprint dimensions of the house on your site plan, which generally speaking is the 2-scale drawing of the entire project itself. It's your survey with your house and the topographical elevations so that your lot drains properly and all of that fun stuff. So now that we have the site plan and soil results, Rachel, the septic design.
Timeline check.
Yeah, let's do it.
Where are we at in our timeline? At this point, we are about 8 weeks from the day you ordered the survey.
So 2 months worth of work.
Yep.
And this can get kind of long, right? Because like, you're thinking, man, I signed a contract with the builder 2 months ago. Nothing's happening.
What's going on?
What's that feel like, Rachel?
It can be tiresome.
Yeah. So it's the slowest part of the process for sure. And you don't think a lot's going on, but behind the scenes, there is a lot going on. So meanwhile, you got all that done. Now we're talking about submitting our building plan and our site plan to the local municipality, which can take, once they receive it, how long do they have to review it?
Gosh, they have 30 days to review it, but if they have notes, could take probably 30 to 60 days, maybe even longer.
Yeah, so when she says if they have notes, basically they give it back to you with comments, which is a sort of a bureaucratic FU way of saying you're going to have to do this the way we want you to do it. So you have to appease the government, and we all like to play nice with the government because we don't want to be at odds with them. So you submit your stuff, they have 30 days to review it, then they can send it back 30 days later with comments, and you hope that the comments don't require extensive revision to either your plans or to the site plan. If so, you make those revisions quickly, you resubmit, they have another 30 days, but hopefully they do it in a more timely manner on the second or sometimes the third submittal. So like during this whole time, Rachel, what else could be going on, do you think?
So while we're waiting on the city to approve our building permits, you can get to work with your VDOT right-of-way permit, your land disturbance permit, maybe even the power company design work, so that all of those things are in place and you can get going as soon as you get that approval from the city.
So during this time, hopefully your builder, or hopefully us, myself, would be working on your quotation. So like figuring out how much it's gonna cost to clear, how much land are we clearing, what's the land development gonna cost, what impact this has on your overall budget, where's the silt fence gonna go, and start lining up contractors to get to work so that once we receive the building permit, we're putting a hole in the ground as soon as possible. So like timeline check at this point, where are we at, Rachel?
Well, at this point, we are 3 to 4 months from the day we ordered that survey. So it could be 4 months at this point that we still have not broken ground.
Yeah, however, Building permits here, everything's going. We got our building permit back. Now it's time to call the surveyor to mark the area of disturbance, the clearing area. It's also time to get clearing, and weather depending, you know, clearing, let's say half an acre, which is a good size lot or area to clear. Probably in the 7 to 14 day zone for clearing half an acre, and that's
depending on the weather.
Exactly.
Density of the trees and the soil, like, gosh, did it rain like 2 weeks before and the soil's like super saturated?
Yeah, and rain's a game changer. Like, it's a showstopper. If it's raining, nobody's gonna get in an excavator and try to get out there, because you're just gonna make a huge mess and get machinery stuck, and that's like way worse than doing nothing. So a couple of weeks to clear half an acre if all goes well. And then next, Rachel, it's what? Silt fence. It's having the surveyor come back and stake the foundation, mark the corners of the home, and then it's time to get to digging. So for the sake of that timeline check, Rachel, where are we at now?
At this point, we are definitely at the 4-month mark, maybe even to that 5-month mark. And just think about this, if one of those steps was delayed, the whole process gets delayed. So if your surveyor gets sick and can't go out and mark the area of disturbance, then you're waiting on that.
Unless I'm your builder, I'm firing the guy that's sick and getting a new surveyor that it's not a
So it's very important to have a builder that is timely, holds their vendors to their timelines, AKA hounding them to make sure they're doing their jobs in a good, timely manner.
Yeah, the show must go on, and it's your builder's job to logistically pull all of these resources and people and teams together to keep things on timeline and on budget. So that's what's going on the build side, project management side. There's also a lot of things that could be going on the sales side, like
design work, selections, pricing those things out.
Yeah, for sure. But we'll leave that for another video. For now, let's get out in the field and check out some projects that we are actively building for clients right now. So we'll see you there. Here we are, lot 5 of a subdivision that we're building out. And actually, we just wrapped up the site work here. So as you'll see, the silt fence is up, the lot has been cleared, the construction driveway is in, and actually we just got news this morning that our building permit is approved. You see the email from Chase?
Yes!
So we got a building permit, and within a couple of weeks, we'll be out here. We've called in for the surveyor to stake the foundation so that we know precisely where to dig, and we will be breaking ground on this lot within the next week or so. So fun times, and this is kind of what it looks like once the site work is developed, and this is the culminating point of all the things that happened prior to breaking ground. So to get to this point took us approximately 4.5 months, and that was with us being very assertive and following up with all the different vendors and the survey company and the engineers that worked on this, and as well as the county. I mean, the county sometimes shuffles things to the bottom of a pile, and you gotta bring them some donuts and say, hey, Mr.
Hey, don't forget us down at the bottom of your pile.
Mr. Permit Approver, think about us. We love you, you're great. So that's what's going on from concept to foundation. 4.5 months of work, here we are.
Part 2 of the new construction process. Today we're gonna get into foundation and framing. So now that we got all of the boring stuff out of the way that you don't see what's going on, we can finally break ground on the foundation. It's time to rock and roll, woohoo! So we're gonna highlight timeline, of course, in this video, but we're also gonna highlight when city inspections happen.
So first step, finally, we got here. It only took 4 months, right? Everyone's dying. We dig the foundation, also known as your footers or footings. So your footings are getting dug and prepared for concrete, and the concrete gets poured in, boom!
Hey, a city inspection.
Time for our first city inspection, that's it. Second step is pouring the concrete footers for the concrete block to be laid on. And guess what? Now it's time to lay the block down. So depending on how high your home is off the ground, whether you're on a slab or raised slab or crawl space, this can take a week or two, and it's called courses is the number of blocks that your house is set upon. So like 3 courses is approximately 3 blocks, and so forth and so on. So time check, how long did that take, Rachel?
We're looking at about 2 to 3 weeks from the day we broke ground on the home.
And now it's time to order and deliver the framing materials, AKA the lumber package, so that we can get started on your framing box. And for that part of the video, why don't we get out there and see if we can see the guys on site and check out what it looks like to be framing on site. See you there. Boom, so here we are. Obviously you notice we did a quick wardrobe change because it's, summertime in Virginia and it's 90 degrees outside. But here we are at one of our communities. This is Hog Island Farms in Surrey County, Virginia. This is a house we're building for someone. And this is what we were talking about when we were talking about our box. So your box is essentially your floor joist system set on the foundation itself. And once this is in, boom, time for your first framing inspection. So that's where we're at on this project right now. Inspection's been called in and we're waiting on the County of Surrey to send out an inspector and make sure that they like our box. Once the box is framed and inspected and passed, then it's time to actually go vertical on the house and start framing the house. Now, next door, actually, you'll see that we got some guys over there framing the first floor of a home, and this house is next up on deck. So probably takes 3 to 4 weeks, weather dependent, to frame the house. And once the house is framed, the roof is on and the sheathing and wrap is on the house, boom! Time for the next home inspection, and also time for the framing walkthrough with the builder.
Right.
What's that about?
So with the framing walkthrough, we will meet with a superintendent or a representative from the builder and probably myself with the design team. We're going to walk through each room of the home and decide exactly where you want to place your lighting, any extra outlets, and even your audio video. Like, do you want to have speakers or an internet line in the room? So as we walk through the house and place those lightings, we'll also want to look at plumbing. Do you want your sink in the island, or do you want it on the wall by a window? Or do you want to add a laundry sink somewhere? Or plumbing also would include your gas lines. So if you want to add any gas lines to the house, this would absolutely be your easiest last point to do that without it being super expensive.
Yeah, so it's kind of like the last aboard the train type of deal. If you want plumbing, electrical changes, this is sort of the last call, or it's going to get a lot more expensive and time intensive to do those things once the drywall is up.
Right. So we do the framing walkthrough with you as the client so that our mechanicals can get started. Mechanical trades would be your electrician, your plumber, and the HVAC. So all of those trades go through the home, and once they are completed, there is a city inspection on each one of those.
Yeah, so that kind of concludes the foundation and framing portion of the video. Next, we're moving into, I think, mechanicals like we discussed.
Yes.
This is part 3 of what to expect in our new construction process, and today we're going to be getting into the post-rough-in kind of drywall phase. So some quick facts and stats. Our average build time right now is 151 days for our new construction. And so right now, as we're entering the drywall phase, we're probably, what, 10 to 12 weeks in?
Yep.
Want to pick up there?
Absolutely. So this is actually where like the fun stuff starts, because you start to see the house really come together. Drywall is the first step. So we're going to install the drywall, and it's actually kind of fun to watch if you've ever like been there when the guys are like walking around on stilts and mudding the ceilings in the tall places. It's actually kind of cool to watch. They are extremely talented people. After the drywall is up, we start painting. So they're going to paint the ceiling, paint the walls, the color that our client has chosen. And then it's time for trim and doors and window trim. And that can take a couple of weeks for all of that to happen. So let's do a time check. Ding, ding, ding. All this takes about 3 weeks to get going. The drywall, paint, trim, doors, all of that. So we're about 15 weeks from the day we broke ground, and let's zoom out big picture, about 7 months from the day we actually started this process with our survey work.
One cool factoid about drywall is once the drywall goes up, it actually gives you dimension to the house, and the room sizes kind of come to life, and the floor plan starts to make sense again. When you can see through the walls and it's just studs, I can't tell you, there's been countless scenarios where we've had clients be like, the rooms aren't big enough, or the rooms are this, or this wall's too big. But once the drywall is in and the mud is on and there's dimensions, it like puts all of those. It
totally makes sense. And then there's still a slight optical illusion there, and then you really can see the space for real once the floors are in.
Yeah. So why don't we leave the studio and get out in the field and go check out what the drywall scenario looks like in one of our builds.
Yay!
What's up, gang? We're here on site. Actually got some guys working in the background, so it's a little noisy, but we love having guys on our job site. Yes. Here we are, house is rolling. They're having fun. And Rachel, we're in a house that has drywall. We're putting it together.
We have drywall, we have paint, we have trim, just like we said. And the next thing after that is your kitchen and bathroom cabinets and countertops. Once that's in, you start to see lighting fixtures and plumbing fixtures go up. And then while all that's going on, Could be working on a few things on the exterior, like this house in particular is on well and septic. So we have our well being installed, our septic field's already installed. And then at this point, we are a couple weeks in, about 15 weeks into the process. And gosh, next time we see you guys, we're gonna have floors in and tile in and our finished work, and we'll have a completed home.
Yeah, so on this particular house, we are probably 3 weeks out from completion. So that puts us right at that 150-day mark. Yet on the exterior, you see there's a big old pile of dirt.
That is one big pile of shit.
We actually had to dig some fairly large holes for our septic tank. Our actual drain field's not installed yet. So we're gonna have even more dirt, which is time for us to do some rough grading. So this yard is kind of messy. We've gotten like 4 straight days of rain, so it's not pretty yet, but this is the time where we start buttoning up the yard, getting it graded, putting down straw and seed, so we get some stabilization outside. And next week, flower beds and landscaping, final landscaping will be going in, and this house will be wrapped up. So we'll probably bring them back to kind of see the finished product.
Absolutely.
Cool, that's the fun part. You actually start to see the vision coming together once drywall is going in and like floors on site, the cabinets here are already installed.
All the pretty things going up.
Yeah, you see the light at the end of the tunnel and it starts to get really fun. Time for part 4 of what to expect during a new construction build. And I think we left you off at month 5 from breaking ground. So, dude, by month 5, what have I been doing this whole time as a builder, Rach?
You've been working pretty hard, I'd say. Oh yeah, that's it. Oh my God.
Getting by, it's all taking and no giving. They just use your mind and they never.
But on the real, babe, what's been happening? Where are we at on this process?
Well, we're also like 9 months from the time we started, ordered our survey.
That's true.
So, definitely have to keep that in mind. But right now we've done drywall, we've done our finishes, our cabinets are in, and now it's kind of like, let's finish up all of the final touches, which actually all of the little final touches are pretty big things. So you've got like bathroom mirrors, your plumbing fixtures, lighting fixtures,
doorknobs, garage door opener, we're staining things, we're touching up paint.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, all the touch-ups. So at this point, the builder and his team have probably done about maybe 2 or 3 walkthroughs or blue tape walkthroughs of the house just to make sure like quality control is looking really, really good.
And then there's all those final little details, just buttoning up the house to make sure it's livable, right? We're checking the HVAC system, we're running all the faucets, making sure nothing leaks, we're flushing toilets, doing final punch out. And this is actually where the process starts to get fun because you see the light at the end of the tunnel, right?
Yes, it starts looking like a beautiful home.
Yeah, it starts coming together. So with that said, should we just go out in the field and see what it might look like out there?
Let's rock and roll.
Rock and roll. See you out there.
So we're here on site, and actually we're going to talk about the exterior even though we're on the inside. So basically in those final touches, you're going to see any like decks or patios being installed, the driveway and concrete walkways. You'll definitely want to make sure that the house gets power washed on the exterior. Probably those window screens go in. Those are like some of the last things that are done on the outside of the home. And then at this point, the builder's probably going to call you for a final walkthrough. And that is like a really awesome opportunity for you to put your eyes on the home probably one last time before you sign those documents and get the keys from the builder. And that's a very, very important part of this process that we probably should do its own video for.
We could make a bonus video coming at you. Back by popular demand, another video.
Hey, that's what we do.
But that's actually the fun stuff, right? You go through the home, you learn about your systems, everything's spick and span, and finally this like 9-month journey is coming to a conclusion, and then you get the keys, and then you get to sleep in the house that night, so long as you have a certificate of occupancy.
Exactly, and that would be the absolute last thing before you get those keys. The builder's going to call in for all of their final inspections, and then once those inspections take place and all pass, then the county or the city, wherever you're building, is going to issue the final.
They give you their blessing.
Yes, they're like, hey, this house was built correctly. So that's it, you guys. That is the final part of this series of what the process is for new construction. Hey guys, welcome to the Freedom Model built by 757 Building Company. Come on inside. So from the foyer here, we have the office space. It has a closet and it's actually attached to a full bathroom here downstairs to serve your guests just in case you needed a 6th bedroom. Now let's go see the living room. Or I should say the great room. It's a massive space right here, which is wide open. Kitchen, living room, dining room. And you see that beautiful fireplace back there? We put an accent wall in all of our homes. The fireplace was just a really small upgrade. And what's not to love about this beautiful, massive kitchen? Let's start with this huge island that probably sits 4 to 5 people here, and it has a trash can pull out. So much space in this beautiful kitchen. What you see here is pretty much standard. You're gonna get granite countertops, the beautiful oversized cabinetry with the crown molding, and the appliance package you see here is pretty much the same style and appliances you're gonna get when you build with 757 Building Company. And let's not forget about this gorgeous backsplash. You get to customize your homes with us, and you'd be able to pick your own backsplash. With backsplash comes with our homes. So from this kitchen area, you actually have a coat closet, you have a mudroom space, and a walk-in pantry. From the mudroom, you're gonna go into the garage. We finish all of our garage spaces, and we also include a garage door opener with all of our homes. Now let's go upstairs. Second floor has 4 bedrooms on it, including the primary suite, which we're standing in right now. You also have the laundry room and a hall bathroom that has a double sink and its own space that includes the tub shower surround and the toilet. Speaking of the primary suite, check out this beautiful barn door behind me. It leads to the bathroom and the walk-in closet. Let's go take a look. So this beautiful bathroom has an oversized double vanity. You can see the tile throughout this bathroom that is all standard, including the beautiful tile in that huge, massive shower. We've got dual shower heads here. The only upgrade you see in the shower is the hand lift off on the side here. Now this house is 2,940 square feet. So right now we're standing on the 3rd floor. This is your 5th bedroom, or it would make a really awesome bonus media room. But we've got a huge walk-in closet up here and also a full bathroom. You also are gonna have the convenience of walk-in attic space. So we're just about wrapped up here, and I don't wanna forget about mentioning the 12 by 12 deck that comes with all of our homes that come off of the back door. And then let's not forget that beautiful covered front porch that greets you every single day that you come home. Now again, this is the Freedom model built by 757 Building Company, custom builder right here in Hampton Roads. They also build barn doors. So give us a call. We've got tons of models to choose from. We would love to build a beautiful home for you today. We're 757 Building Company. See you later.
So for those of you that made it all the way to the end, thank you so much for watching. We
Welcome.
do not, we don't take your time lightly. We know it's a big deal for you to spend this time with us. So we hope you got something out of it. We hope it was informative. And if you want more videos like this, please smash the like button, hit the subscribe, and stay up to date with all the videos that we release. We're trying to get videos out every week at the same time. For those of you that really appreciate the stuff and the content that we're putting out, any last thoughts, babe?
Yeah, I mean, we have over 300 videos. So if you're thinking about moving to Hampton Roads or you need a builder, we would love to be that go-to builder for you, but we're also a real estate team. So we've got it all right here.
Under one roof.
Under one roof.
Yeah, we're
Like we build it.
757 Building Company under one roof, building lasting relationships.
Crafting forever homes.
See you soon.